My parents canceled my birthday every year because my brother's travel tournaments were more important, so I quietly stopped showing up to family events. No one noticed until photos from my private beachfront wedding went viral, and they realized they weren't invited. My 16th birthday was the last time I ever asked my parents for anything. My older brother Jake was the family's golden ticket. He was a prodigy on the baseball diamond, and from the time I was 10, my life became a collateral casualty to his elite travel tournament schedule. My birthday falls in mid-July, prime championship season. Every year without fail, my special day was canceled, delayed, or entirely forgotten. We'll celebrate next week, buddy, my dad would say, throwing duffel bags into the back of his SUV while my mom frantically packed coolers. Next week never came. When I turned 18, they forgot completely. They were in Florida for nationals. I didn't get a happy birthday text from my mom until 4 p.m., and it was quickly followed by a picture of Jake holding a massive plastic trophy. I sat alone in our dark kitchen, staring at the screen, and I made a quiet, definitive choice. I didn't throw a tantrum. I didn't write an angry letter. I realized that screaming for their attention was a game I would always lose, so I simply stopped playing. I moved out for college and began the quiet fade. I stopped driving home for Thanksgiving. Too much coursework, I'd lie. They accepted it easily. I stopped showing up for Christmas. I got double shifts at the clinic. They didn't push back. I stopped calling them on Sundays, waiting to see how long it would take for them to call me first. Months turned into years. They never reached out unless they needed a favor or wanted to brag about Jake signing a minor league contract. They were so consumed by his spotlight that they completely failed to notice. They had lost their youngest son. In my silence, I thrived. I built a highly successful career in software engineering, and more importantly, I met Maya. Maya was everything my family wasn't. Warm, aggressively present, and fiercely loyal. When I finally opened up about my family dynamic, she didn't pity me. She just held my face and said, "Then we'll build our own table." So we did. When I proposed to Maya, the inevitable question of the guest list came up. "Do you want to invite them?" she asked gently. I thought about all the half-eaten gas station cupcakes I'd eaten alone on my birthdays. I thought about the crushing, suffocating silence of my childhood. "No," I told her. "This day is for people who actually show up for us." We decided to skip the traditional hometown affair and flew out to a private resort in Maui. It was breathtaking. We rented a beachfront villa and surrounded ourselves with 50 of our closest friends in Maya's incredible, loving family. We drank champagne, laughed until our ribs ached, and danced under the Hawaiian stars, entirely free from the shadows of my past. It was the best day of my life. Maya's sister is a fairly prominent wedding photographer, and she posted a massive, beautifully edited carousel of the wedding on Instagram and Facebook. Because of mutual hometown connections, the algorithm did exactly what it was designed to do. Within hours, the photos went completely viral in our hometown circles. That is how my parents found out their invisible second son had just hosted a six-figure, breathtaking destination wedding. My phone exploded the next morning while Maya and I were having breakfast on our balcony, overlooking the ocean. 42 missed calls, 7 voicemails, texts pouring in from extended family members I hadn't spoken to in a decade. I finally answered the phone on the 43rd ring. "How could you do this?" My mother sobbed hysterically into the receiver. "We had to find out from Susan's Facebook page that our own son got married. Do you have any idea how humiliating this is? Everyone is asking us why we weren't there." "Humiliating for who?" I asked, my voice dead calm. My dad grabbed the phone. "You have no right to speak to your mother that way. We are your family. You deliberately hid this from us just to hurt us." "I didn't hide anything, Dad," I replied, taking a slow sip of my coffee. "I just stopped reminding you I existed." Silence hit a line. Complete suffocating silence. "You haven't called me in 3 years," I continued, my tone dropping to ice. "You didn't know I moved to Seattle. You didn't know I made partner at my firm. You didn't even know I was engaged. I didn't deliberately exclude you. I just treated my wedding exactly how you treated my birthdays." That was different," he stammered, his righteous anger draining into pure panic. "Jake's scouts were there. We had to make sacrifices, and I made a sacrifice for my peace," I said softly. "I hope Jake's season is going well. Have a good life, Dad." I hung up, went into my settings, and permanently blocked their numbers. Maya reached across the glass table and took my hand, her thumb tracing my knuckles. "Everything okay?" she asked, a knowing smile on her face. I looked out at the crystal blue water, feeling a heavy, dark weight I had carried for a decade finally lift off my chest and evaporate into the ocean breeze. "Yeah," I smiled back, squeezing her hand. "For the first time in my life, everything is perfect."